Starting off with teams that are now out of my top 10. The Minnesota Vikings. Now, Minnesota last week checked in at number 10 for me. I look at this team. You lose to New England. Those are the games where, yeah, it's in Foxborough. You probably shouldn't win those, but if you're a team that wants to contend, you have to be able to do that. And they looked like they were thoroughly out-coached, out-schemed, and outperformed. Winning the division, probably not going to happen now. That loss, it didn't sting entirely because everybody else in the division lost as well. I just look at Minnesota and I see them as the type of team where, yes, Kirk Cousins is a better, more viable option than Case Keenum, but I don't know if Minnesota is going to have everything in them to make it through the gauntlet of an NFC as I look at the other teams in the top 10. And looking at my number 10 team in the NFL.
Number 10.
I've got the Baltimore Ravens. They're pretty exciting to watch. I really like what I see with a quarterback who's now 3-0 since he's replaced Joe Flacco. 716 yards rushing the past 3 games. That's the most by any team since the Seahawks in 2012. It's really good company to be in. Steelers lose to the Chargers. Big opportunity for them to catch some ground in the AFC North. But the wild card pretty much looks like it's going to be theirs for the taking so long as they don't screw up.
Number 9.
And yes, the Seahawks are 7-5 in an NFC West that has been, how do I say it, crap. But yeah, you beat up on the Niners. You just take care of business. That's what you have to do. You lose both times to the Rams. 2 of their 5 losses against an 11-1 football team. Not too bad. The fact of the matter is Seattle's playing well. They seem to have figured it all out. And Russell Wilson is the engineer behind what's been a magical season. Not like your Super Bowl seasons, but it's been magical in its own right because everyone wanted to write this Seattle Seahawks team as dead in the water with no talent. And somehow here they are at 7-5, looking at a wild card spot and in a great position to maybe shock some teams in the playoffs. Because if you can have a team that can play good defense and a quarterback that won't make too many mistakes, that'll win you some football games. Seattle is still a dangerous team at 7-5, and they're my number 9 team for a reason.
Number 8.
At number 8, I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, and with a second half collapse against the Chargers, Pittsburgh essentially kissed their chances of a first-round bye in the AFC. They, of course, would love to be playing at Heinz Field, but the fact of the matter is they blew their chances against the Chargers, and a lot of it, you could chalk it up to bad defensive play calling on Sunday night. Steelers were in a base 3-4 defense on the final third down against the Chargers, which you got John Bostich covering Keenan Allen on the most significant play. Now, why they're resorting to using linebackers to cover the league's best route runner, I don't know, but not all is bad over there. They lead the league in sacks with 39. TJ Watt's got 10 sacks. They've got a handful of guys with over 4.5 sacks. And it's really all up to them outplaying Baltimore down the stretch for the division. A playoff berth looks likely, whether it's a division win or a wild card spot, but I wasn't really pleased with the way the Steelers played on Sunday night. And we'll just have to see what they look like moving forward.
Number 7.
At number 7, I got the Chicago Bears. And despite the loss that they had, this team is rolling, and it's pretty much based off their point differential. They're like plus 106 or something like that, which is right up in good company with the Los Angeles Rams. And that'll happen when you can count on your defense to score a touchdown literally every single week. That's what they do. Matt Nagy making the most out of whoever is his quarterback. Chase Daniel, Mitch Trubisky, doesn't matter. This team is led by 2 of the best coaches in the league. Vic Fangio defensively calling the shots over there, doing a great job forcing turnovers. You got Khalil Mack as a nice chess piece to work with. The Bears, they're going to be fine. They lost. It's not that big of a deal because you look around the NFC North, every other team lost as well. So I wouldn't be tripping out if I was a Bears fan. This is the league's number 1 defense. And December, January, February football, it's all about takeaways, forcing turnover, scoring points off turnovers, and that's what the Bears do in a nutshell.
Number 6.
I got the Houston Texans, and after starting 0-3, this team looked like they were pretty much beat, done, torn to shreds. Kiss them goodbye. Is Bill O'Brien gone? Is Deshaun Watson overrated? These are the media headlines that everyone wanted to talk about, but instead you have a team that's now won 9 in a row. They're 9-3. The AFC South is theirs for the taking. All they got to do is win this week, and the division is theirs. What else is there more to say about a team that, after starting 0-3, they've since won 9 games? Nobody else is on a winning streak like them. Texans are playing better football than just about anybody right now. Great defense, weapons on offense. They've overcome an injury at Will Fuller to an ACL. You get Demaryius Thomas in the mix. Deshaun Watson's getting more comfortable. The offensive line is allowing him to get more time to throw the ball and stand comfortably in the pocket. I like the Houston Texans. There's a reason they're my number 6 team in the National Football League.
Number 5.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Now, it's a good thing Pat Mahomes is playing good football because that defense is horrible. They're so bad that I'm not sure if they can win a Super Bowl with that defense playing at that level. And then on top of that, they were last week in number 3. The reason why I put them back to number 5, they had a close win over a bad team in Oakland. That has nothing to do with it. The Chiefs made news for all the wrong reasons this past week. At least they sent a clear message by cutting Kareem Hunt. But from a locker room perspective, yes, it sends the right message to the guys on the team about what is expected from your players off the field. But from an on-the-field X's and O's perspective, the move really desperately hurts. It stings. You got Kareem Hunt, 23 years old, in the prime of his career, one of the league's most dynamic running backs. Even with a bunch of weapons in other places, it will not be easy for Andy Reid to just replace Kareem Hunt. They're going to have their hands full. The Chargers are right there on their heels, one game behind them, looking to maybe make some moves out there in the AFC West, and we'll have more on them in a second as I preview my number 4 team in the National Football League.
Number 4.
At number 4, I got the Chargers. And before you look at me funny and say, Jake, how can you put the Chargers ahead of the Chiefs when they're a game behind them? They already played them this year, and they lost to the Chiefs. How are you going to do that when the Chiefs won last week and the Chargers barely won? Well, the answer is this. The Chargers are a better football team than the Kansas City Chiefs as far as complete football teams go. Offense, defense. I'm not going to say special teams because their special teams still sucks. They can't kick the ball. But they got bailed out, and I'm really enthused by the way the Chargers are playing. You got Joey Bosa back in the mix, starting to look more comfortable. That's scary for just about every other team that's going to have to play him, even with Denzel Perryman out for the season. Melvin Gordon on the sidelines with that grade 2 MCL sprain. Chargers finding ways to win games. Still only a game out of the AFC West lead. They will have Melvin Gordon back for the playoffs, which is the most important thing. And man, what a win against the Steelers. They out-schemed Pittsburgh in a very, very, very good way.
Number 3.
I got the New England Patriots, who had a much-needed win against the Minnesota Vikings last week. This is the time of year when New England starts to play better football than pretty much everybody else. Bill Belichick, I count on him more than I count on just about any other coach in December. Then you got 41-year-old ancient Tom Brady, who might turn to dust when you touch him. Tom Brady's arm strength, obviously not the same. You see the type of throws they're asking him to make, not very far down the field. But so what? The Patriots know that. Every other team knows that, and you still can't stop them. No matter if they got their guys healthy, they're getting great production out of everyone. The Patriots are going to be just fine. And if you look at the way the Chiefs losing Kareem Hunt, the Patriots could end up being the number 1 seed yet again. Not yet, of course, but again, very much still a possibility, something you got to be on the lookout for, and I don't think anybody wants to go play in Foxborough in January. We know this.
Number 2.
At number 2, I got the New Orleans Saints, who, now with the offense having a hangover from the week before and having all these historic numbers, the Saints defense showed up and said, "What's up, Dallas? I know you might not have a great offense, but we're coming into your home on a Thursday night on a short week, and we're going to show up." And the Saints, I was pretty inspired by the way they played defense. The Saints score on a ridiculous 58.1% of their drives, which is on pace to be the highest rate by any NFL team since the league expanded to a 16-game schedule in 1978. But the last 3 games of the season, yeah, they might not be easy. Carolina, I should say, twice, and Pittsburgh in the final 3 weeks. So the race for the NFC's top seed, it will be really fun. Obviously, now they're on the outside looking in with that loss last week to Dallas. A game behind the Rams, who they did beat, so the tiebreaker is in their favor. But even with their tough schedule ahead, they can still clinch home field advantage with a little bit of help here down the stretch.
Number 1.
Who else but the LA Rams? Last week, my number 2 team, but they're going to jump ahead of the Saints after their performance, avoiding that dreaded trap game loss in Detroit. Underrated aspect of the game that helps a lot of teams win games is when you get a great contribution from special teams. Offensive line, giving Jared Goff tons of time to distribute the ball to his playmakers. Goff is missing his third down reliable buddy in Cooper Kupp, but the team is getting some extra help from guys like Josh Reynolds, Tyler Higbee, Gerald Everett. What you're seeing is a manifestation of the we not me mentality. And what else was a better display of that than Todd Gurley on Sunday with a chance to punch in another touchdown and add to his career-defining season, pulling off the ultimate Madden move, running laterally across the goal line to burn some more clock. And that's why they're winning games. It won't be easy for them to just win out. Their toughest remaining game of the season, undoubtedly this Saturday night against the Bears at Soldier Field. Those are my opinions, my top 10 teams in the league.